un petit peu plus tard.
On accepte les virements.
Oui, Earl Jive,
Hey.
vous acceptez les virements, mais c'est bon, ça,
Oui.
c'est plus facile.
C'est moderne aussi.
Oui, ben c'est ça, Michel. Earl Jive était un animateur de chaume
Oui.
à partir d'à peu près 1970-71 jusqu'à peu près 1976.
Avec Doug Pringle
Avec-
et Denis Grondin.
Avec Denis Grondin, André Réaume, Doug Pringle, of course.
Hey.
Voilà.
Awesome, and after I was hired, Denis Grondin was hired. So we were new guys together at Shaw.
The new kid in town.
Ouais.
New kid in town.
Yeah.
Now, when you arrive at home, I think I've already asked the question. J'ai déjà demandé la question, Earl, mais posé la question, pardon. Est-ce que vous êtes arrivé, c'était CKGM-FM?
That's right.
Oh.
And CKGM, it was September of 1971. And it was CKGM FM, deux, trois mois
Après.
in the future.
In the
we had
future.
the second anniversary of Shom FM, or CKGM FM, and we had a big party at Nymark's Lodge. And I think I made the front page of the one of the papers.
The Gazette or Montreal
Yeah.
Star, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we made the mistake of saying free beer, and then we found out that was illegal. We couldn't do free beer.
Oh.
So, but the cat was out of the bag, and they expected several hundred people. 10,000 people showed up. They were pulling the mattresses out of the
How many,
rooms.
how many people?
10,000
Where?
So,
at the Nymark's Lodge.
wow.
malade.
So it was too late.
Because
on
of
va traduire à mesure, hein,
We had
quand
a big
même.
party. Yeah.
Oui.
And
Because of the new...
there was a new part, and then they introduced the fact that it was going to be now Shom FM, L'Esprit de Montréal.
L'esprit de
Et ça,
Montréal.
c'était... This is the launching of...
The launching, yeah. So a big birthday party and the launching,
And 10,000 came.
yeah, 10,000 showed up.
Wow.
On which
What a
street
big
is that? You remember?
It's
Where in Montreal?
No, it's not in Montreal. It was 60 miles, 100 kilometers north of Montreal.
Oh, really?
At the Nymark's Lodge. And
Quand
it's
même.
Saint-Sauveur, is that where it
Hey.
is? I don't know.
À Saint-Sauveur.
Yeah.
À Saint-Sauveur.
Whoa, whoa.
D'accord.
And then 10,000 showed up
10,000
there.
showed. I was driving
10
up
000
the...
personnes qui sont allées au lancement du nouveau chaume à Saint-Sauveur.
In 1971. Eh?
That's right.
right.
And I'm driving north, and I'm hearing Denis Grondin sur les ondes playing Pink
oui.
Floyd's Echoes. And
Wow.
it was just, wow. I was getting higher, more northerly all the time.
Was like a dream. Et c'est drôle ce qu'on vit là en ce moment, et Earl comprend très bien. On a l'impression qu'on revit un peu Chaume à l'époque bilingue. Hein?
Exact.
On se souviendra, André,
Oui.
ça rappelle des souvenirs,
Oui.
et Earl va être d'accord,
Oui.
W.
Denis Grondin
aussi.
et moi.
Ce qu'on aurait dû idéalement, à part les raisons commerciales de la chose, mais ce qu'on aurait dû permettre, parce que dans une certaine mesure, c'est quand même le reflet d'une grande partie de Montréal.
Absolument, tout à fait.
D'être capable de s'exprimer dans les deux langues, sans évidemment dénigrer d'aucune façon l'importance de la langue française et la prédominance de la langue française. Mais c'était le reflet des deux communautés. Il y avait un effet unificateur
Tout à fait,
qui
exact.
est agréable
Oui.
autant pour les anglophones de Montréal que les
Absolument.
francophones de Montréal. Et c'est ce qui n'existe plus.
Ouais, c'était le
malheureusement.
talk of the town en plus.
Exact.
Talk of the town of the bilingual
Ouais.
and speaking both languages on the air. Switch to French, switch to English, hein, André?
Exactement.
Mid-sentence.
Hey?
Mid-sentence, in the middle of
Yeah.
the sentence.
In the middle of the sentence, yeah.
Et ironie du sort, on va avoir l'occasion d'y revenir, André St-Amand.
Attends,
qui est
je vais
avec
juste
nous
ouvrir une
également.
parenthèse,
Oui,
Nicolas. C'est juste que le CRTC ne permet
Plus, depuis longtemps.
Et avait
oui.
permis à l'époque qu'on fasse de la radio bilingue. Mais les auditeurs vont se dire, pourquoi est-ce que vous ne faites pas ça, vous autres? Parce qu'on n'a pas fait ça. C'est quoi, par exemple? Parce qu'on n'a pas le droit de le faire.
On
Les
avait
Chaumes
pas-
n'ont pas le droit de le
Voilà,
faire.
voilà.
Exact.
Marc Denis est venu nous en parler également. Et ça, j'allais dire, André, on va avoir l'occasion d'y revenir, mais tu republiais un texte intéressant sur LinkedIn il y a quelques jours où, aux États-Unis, on est en train de déréglementer
Oui.
l'industrie, pendant qu'au Canada,
Oui.
évidemment que le CRTC, c'est tout le contraire.
Oui, on est actuellement dans une drôle de situation avec le CRTC. Le CRTC est complètement hors champ. Ils vont complètement à contre-courant des besoins industriels de l'industrie de la radiodiffusion actuellement en 2025. Actuellement, ils ont une vision qui date d'il y a 50 ans. Juste par exemple, si on prend par exemple le quota de musique francophone, il date du contexte de 1975 et n'a jamais été revu et retouché ou adapté à la réalité technologique de 2025.
Alors, je te pose une question. C'est qui ce monde-là? C'est qui ce monde-là? Ils ont quel âge?
Les gens au conseil?
Oui. C'est qui, ça?
Écoute, c'est des gens de tout âge.
C'est-tu des gars de 85 ans?
Non, pas du tout.
Comment ça se fait qu'ils sont... Pourquoi?
Un des problèmes, c'est que sans méchanceté, on devrait mettre des gens au CRTC qui ont travaillé dans le domaine des médias, en télévision et en radio, pas seulement des gens de droit, des gens qui sont des avocats de profession ou autres. Mettons des gens qui l'ont vécu puis qui connaissent, qui comprennent la maudite réalité dans laquelle on est plongé actuellement, où on est en train de s'engloutir dans un marché qui valait plus de 100 millions de dollars en 2019 et qui en vaut que 72 aujourd'hui. Alors là, on est là, nous surréglementés. On est déjà réglementé à 65. Là, on parle de quotas, d'ajouter d'autres quotas, des quotas autochtones, des artistes émergents. Mais sur quelle planète
c'est ça. C'est une société parallèle.
Je veux dire, il va rester 25 de droits d'opération aux radiodiffuseurs. Trouvez-moi un pays démocratique où la radio serait autant réglementée sur la planète. Ça n'existe pas.
Ça n'existe pas. On a l'impression que c'est
à un moment donné, je ne sais pas où est-ce qu'on s'en va avec ça pour répondre à la question de Michel. Et évidemment, le CRTC n'a pas les mêmes problématiques culturelles que le Canada, mais il déréglemente de plus en plus. Et c'est de même un peu partout dans le monde, sauf ici.
Sauf ici,
c'est dur à expliquer, vraiment.
Effectivement. Puis on souhaite que le CRTC regarde un peu ce qui se fait aux États-Unis, entre autres aux États-Unis, comme voisin.
Puis souvent, les commandes données au CRTC viennent de politiciens.
C'est vrai.
Qui ont une volonté de dire, on va mettre de la musique autochtone, faites un effort là-dessus. Puis mais là, c'est parce que...
Permets-moi, André, sauf que ça... c'est comme... Ça fait 30-40 ans qu'on parle de ça. C'est donné-nous sacre.
Honnêtement...
ça va-tu nous...
Honnêtement, il y a des règlements qui datent d'il y a un demi-siècle. Si on prend, par exemple, le quota, ça a été créé... en 1975, sur une simple note de service basée sur aucune étude. C'est simplement le président du CRTC, Pierre Junot, qui a émis une note de service parce qu'il trouvait que la radio s'américanisait, il avait peur. Alors, il a émis une note de service qui est devenue une directive.
Là, il est où, Junot? Il est mort?
Il est décédé. C'était
bonne chance. Il est rendu en enfer?
Non, mais je ne sais pas. C'était l'ancien président de Radio-Canada. C'est déjà pas mal d'enfer.
C'est déjà pas mal d'enfer. Mais est-ce que tu évoquais...
Comment dire? Do you understand what we're saying, Earl?
Well, we're talking about the CRTC and the regulation against
exactly. You understood
too much of this or not enough of that.
Et si on était dans une émission formelle d'affaires publiques, je te demanderais, André, de faire du name dropping, de nous nommer les gens. Il ne le fera pas. Mais c'est qui ces gens-là? Qu'est-ce qu'ils font? Un par un, les noms, pas les adresses, mais parle-moi, donne-moi le résumé de chacune des personnes parce que c'est un comportement tellement ancien. On dirait que c'est
ça colle pas à la réalité.
Des vieux cardinaux avec des chapeaux pointus, là, comme dans l'ancienne histoire.
Ça ne veut pas dire qu'on est contre la protection culturelle ou la protection de la langue. C'est pas du tout. C'est qu'à un moment donné, on ne peut pas surréglementer alors que les médias, tant la télévision que la radio, concurrencent avec des médias non réglementés. Ça va faire à un moment donné.
Moi, j'ai toujours l'image...
Donnez-nous de la souplesse si on veut survivre.
J'ai l'image d'un enfant dans une chambre, à qui tu dis, la porte est ouverte si tu veux. Là. On ferme la porte, mais elle est ouverte. Puis là, tu as droit à manger des fruits, des légumes. C'est parfait, c'est excellent, c'est très bon. Mais tu sais que quand la porte est ouverte, de l'autre côté, il y a des bonbons partout, puis il y a plein de friandises. Alors, la tentation d'aller sur les Spotify de ce monde, sur toutes sortes d'autres médias disponibles, est là.
Il y en a des milliers.
Il y en a des milliers. Alors, c'est comme si on avait encore au CRTC des œillères, qu'on oubliait ce qui se passait à l'extérieur. C'est du déni. Là.
Malheureusement, c'est des gens qui ne connaissent pas ça. C'est méchant, ce que je viens de dire. Mais je demande à n'importe quelle personne qui travaille au conseil, venez vous asseoir. Moi, ça fait 45 ans que je suis là-dedans.
Moi, je vais
vous raconter comment ça se passe.
Je vais endosser ce que moi, je l'endosse.
On fait la radio avec une calculatrice.
C'est des ignorants.
La créativité est bafouée. Là. À un moment donné, il ne te reste plus grand marge de manœuvre.
Earl, I have to tell you something. When you're going to say something, say it.
André had coffee this morning.
C'est correct, ça.
Earl, I got to explain something. When you came to Montreal, where are you from?
Flint, Michigan originally, but when I was 15, we moved to California.
Oh, you're an American.
Yeah, I was bugging my parents because I visited California in 1958. And I thought, this is great, palm trees, summer all year round. So I bugged my parents, and after 4 years, they finally moved to California because I wanted to be where Bob Barker was. I wanted a job like Bob Barker. I wanted to be an MC, yeah. So after a year, I came when I was 15, and when I was 16, I got a job in radio. So it just took a year of being there to get into
Alors, juste pour faire ouvrir une parenthèse, Nicolas, j'ai l'invité d'André et ce genre d'animateur qui aurait peut-être reçu une note de service d'André.
Oui,
what I'm saying is, comment est-ce qu'on pourrait dire ça?
Service de quoi?
He received a memo. On va l'expliquer. Je vais faire le préambule, puis Earl va expliquer. You're going to explain. But, moi, j'étais un auditeur de Chaume. J'appelais Earl pour des demandes spéciales régulièrement. Il était extrêmement gentil avec moi, indépendamment de mon âge. Tu sais, des fois, les animateurs, on peut dire, le gars, il a 12 ans. Là, Non, il prenait soin de tous ses auditeurs. Et il m'a connu comme ça. Et il a pris mon numéro de téléphone dans son carnet d'adresses. Et un jour, il est allé travailler au AM après Chaume. Il était allé travailler à CFCF. Et à un moment donné, il y avait une partie de baseball. Il était en attente au cas qu'il y aurait de la pluie, de reprendre l'antenne. Il n'y avait rien à faire, il s'ennuyait. Alors, il a pris son carnet d'adresses. Il dit, hey, c'est qui ça, André St-Amand? Puis il a dit, ah oui, c'est un auditeur de Chaume. Je vais l'appeler. Alors, il m'appelle. C'est un samedi après-midi. Je suis à la maison et je réponds au téléphone. Il dit, hello, André St-Amand, please. Et je dis, it's me. Je parlais pas anglais.
Who's talking?
Il dit, c'est Earl Jive. Do you want to visit a radio station? Wow. Je dis, oh my God, yes. I said, okay, come at 405 Ogilvy Street at CFCF. Wow. I know what it is.
I tried to give him the directions there by the metro and everything, but he knew already where it was.
So, Earl, can you explain that visit? Because Michel wants to go to the memo that you have received after my visit.
Yeah, it was, I showed André. First, I took him to CFQR. I thought we'll start low and go work up into the AM.
Which is the beat now.
Yeah. It was one of the top FM stations in Canada that was popular before the progressive rock and stuff that was on Chum FM and Chaume FM. But so it was just played, I don't know what you would call it, sort of just quiet music, and these tapes went around hour after hour, and I showed him the big machines, and then I went and showed him the production studio and said, is there anything you want to know? He said, j'écoute sur les ondes à Chaume FM, vite. And I said, oh, yeah. So I showed him how to cue a record, and he remembers the song Blackbirds, Walking in Rhythm, that I showed him how to cue a record up. And so I think he had a nice time, and I killed a half an hour probably of sitting waiting for the baseball game to either start raining or be over, whatever. And I guess a day or two later, that was on the weekend, so probably Monday I got a memo telling me that we didn't allow guests at the radio station. So I found it many years later and thought it was sort of funny. After many decades, André contacted me on Facebook and told me what happened after he visited the radio station. And that he was.
Oui. Ce que je voulais dire aussi, c'est merci Earl, c'est que Earl est un tannant en ondes un peu. Et je disais à André.
Rebelle. Rebelle DJ.
Et puis là, j'ai dit à André, écoute, t'es un peu tannant, cet animateur-là, au final, parce que je me suis mis à l'écouter beaucoup. J'ai fait beaucoup de research, comme on dit. Did a lot of research on you, and I listened to you on the air. And you're not, and André was saying, he's a little bit like you. You're like, comment est-ce qu'on dit tannant en anglais?
Tannant, crazy, a bit.
Not a joker.
Indiscipliné.
Ouais, flyé.
Not conventional.
Not conventional.
Vous savez l'expression qu'on dit, vaut mieux retenir le cheval que de le pousser.
Ça, c'est gentil.
Alors,
tout à fait.
Earl était probablement un cheval qu'il
un
faut
pur sang.
retenir.
Oui, un pur sang. Like the horse.
Yeah.
We have to retain a bit the horse. So Earl was like that, I think, a bit. Like W.
André would bring me in his office and he said, well, about what you did yesterday on the air, I was listening to you in my car. Of course, he listens to the station all the time, but he says, hey, no, it's okay what you did, but just a little softer. Bringing, whoa. And it's the same for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was. It's funny how often new people come in and they don't realize what all of us have gone through to get to where we are at that point, and they come in and want to change everything into their way of doing things, and that's when we all get fired.
Yeah. Yeah. So were you ever fired?
Oh, many times.
Many.
Many times.
Oh, yeah.
Often from the same radio station. In
fact, and come back.
My very first job was at KRLA. I was 16 years old, and by the time I left, I was 20, but I had been fired 9 times at that radio station. The first 8, I never even missed a paycheck because I would talk my way back in, and they made a joke about it. Just walk past Don Seaborn, the accountant, and tell him I'm in or I'm out. Just tell him what it is at that day.
Moi, j'ai été congédié une fois en 45 ans de carrière.
Ouais.
Une fois?
Une fois seulement.
Une seule fois?
Et le nom de la personne qui m'a congédié, c'est Michel Laurent. Une personne du domaine de la radio qui a travaillé dans le talk surtout, à vrai dire seulement, presque dans le talk.
Oui, quel endroit, ça?
C'était à Cogeco.
Parcours.
J'étais rendu trop vieux, des choses comme ça. Là,
À la fin?
Oui, à la fin.
Oh my God.
Imagine-toi.
Donc, congédié à la fin, moi, je pensais que c'est toi qui étais parti.
Ben, c'est une fausse abolition
Fausse abolition.
C'est comme dans toutes les stations.
Ouais, comment tu peux... T'avais quand même
on restructure, on change les titres des gens.
Toi, tu étais directeur quand même.
Oui, VP programmation.
Alors, oui, c'est une grosse affaire.
Oui, mais c'est une même dans le domaine de la radio.
C'est comme ça.
Earl, c'est 9 fois.
Ouais. 9 fois. Et ça bat le record. En fait, je crois que c'est le record de M. Martin, the former manager of the New York Yankees. Remember him?
He was fired.
Exactly the same story as you, Earl. 9 times he was fired.
Really?
Yeah.
From the Yankees.
And after that, the Mr. Steinbrenner, the former...
George Steinbrenner.
George Steinbrenner, you remember him. He said, okay, you can be back. Okay, okay, you can be our manager again.
And that was an episode of Seinfeld, actually, where Steinbrenner kept bringing him back. And,
exactly.
So we have to understand, Earl. Oui, André, vas-y.
Non, c'est juste que tu parlais de délinquance.
Oui.
Earl a déjà joué. Il jouait parfois des choses à 78 tours au lieu de 33 tours. Comme par exemple, il avait joué la face complète de Tubular Bells à 78 tours.
Okay.
Tu peux le
I did the same thing. Oui, à 78 tours. I did the same thing when I started on the radio, especially with a 45 tours of André Gagnon. Okay, and it was better, and it was a music like instrumental, but with some bass, but not enough. So I put 45 to 33.
Lasts longer.
Low, so it's come boom, boom, boom. And I would do that before they found out. They found out, and they said, "What's wrong with that goddamn record?"
It was a delay.
I say it's table tournante. It's something, it's the turntable.
Yeah. Earl, pourquoi? Why did you play Tubular Bells at 78 RPM on show?
I don't have a recollection of doing that, Your Honor.
C'est très bon. On a un extrait justement de ça, live.
OK, oui, un exemple de jingle de Chaume qu'il a joué à 78 tours.
OK.
C'est le numéro 2, évidemment, sur la liste. On écoute juste pour rire un peu.
On va rire un petit peu, ça s'en vient. On va l'écouter à l'instant. Voilà. On est prêt, je pense.
Numéro 2.
Dance faster.
We're going back 53 years, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the radio that was then, and it is now.
Hurry up, André.
Hurry up.
Faster.
Et de là,
Earl, you have to explain what happened there. What was it? What is it? Tell us.
André brought it.
Say it in French. Dis-nous en français,
Je ne sais
Earl.
pas.
Non, il faut le dire, Earl. Sinon, on va vous retourner dans votre casier.
Yeah? You think that I turned the turntable faster, or was that the way that the selection
Was that
ran?
a radio jingle? Or what was it?
I sort of recognize the song, and I'm not even sure if that's the way the song is normally, or if I perhaps adjusted it.
Yeah, you adjusted it.
Now, what was wrong with you? What something?
was it an accident?
How much time do we have?
Oh, oui. OK.
Alors ça, c'est un extrait de 1973-74.
OK.
Ce n'est pas d'hier.
Peux-tu me permettre avant? OK, regarde bien. On va faire jouer le jingle de chambre.
Oui, ça sera pas long.
Ah, tu passes prêt tout de suite.
Donc, je voulais enchaîner avec André.
Pour
parce
que les
que
gens se situent.
Ouais, peut-être,
oui,
peut-être
tout de suite
Michel, il y a quelque chose de fascinant dans la carrière de Earl parce qu'il a travaillé dans plein de stations américaines et canadiennes. À Toronto, une station numéro 1 qui était très connue durant les années 80, CFNY. Mais j'aimerais ça que tu l'amènes sur le terrain de Casey Kasem.
Ah, oui.
Et tu lui demandes de nous raconter.
Avais-tu quelque chose à nous faire écouter avant?
Non, ça va pour l'instant.
OK, ça va pour l'instant. Casey Kasem, American Top 40. Casey Kasem. Alors, ce qu'on disait hier, Earl, what we were saying yesterday, is the host of the American Top 40, and he did the American Top 40. You produced the American Top 40 at the beginning. And the American Top 40 was on the air for how many years?
It's still on the air now. So
Still.
it was December or 4th of July, 1970 was our first show, and Casey had called me probably in March, April, sometime then, and say, Von Bert, I got this idea. I want to count down the top 40 songs from Billboard. And I said, Billboard's so far behind and everything. He says, in the rest of the country, nobody knows that. It's okay. And so I didn't really think it was that great an idea, but Casey wants to do it. He's the nicest guy anybody knows. So sure. So I started getting the records together, and my job was to assemble the music. I get every record that would make the Hot 100, so we're ready every week for the top 40 songs.
And we have to understand how many stations. Alors, ce qu'on dit, c'est que Casey Kasem, qui était
La première mission, 7 radio stations.
C'est ça. 7 émissions. Donc, vous aviez 7 radios en 1970.
La première était San Diego.
San Diego.
San Diego was on Saturday, samedi, and dimanche, les 6 autres stations.
We call it a syndicated show. Eh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was syndicated from Watermark.
Donc, c'est the American Top 40. It was sold to 6 stations. How did it go up? Tell us.
Well, I think within 6 months we had 60, 70 stations, and eventually it became the most listened to radio program in the world, I believe. And I remember in the first year we got American Forces Radio added on, so we were outside the United States at that point, and we did have Canadian stations coming in too, and I think Australian stations and New Zealand stations.
André, tu disais que tu es arrivé à Hong Kong, je pense.
Oui, exact.
Puis ça jouait sur une radio.
En 1984, je n'étais jamais sorti du Québec, imaginez, parce que, bon, l'histoire en veut ici. Oui, j'étais occupé, puis j'étais pas riche. Et puis, la première fois que j'ai pris l'avion, je suis allé à Hong Kong. En 1984. Et j'arrive dans ma chambre d'hôtel. Qu'est-ce que fait un maniaque de radio quand il rentre dans sa chambre d'hôtel? Il allume la radio.
Ben, c'est sûr.
Alors, j'allume la radio en 1984 à Hong Kong et c'est le American Top 40 de Casey Kasem qui joue à la radio.
On est ailleurs, puis ça
On est
paraît
ailleurs,
pas.
complètement. Earl, tell us how many stations approximately, how many stations joined the American Top 40?
I have no idea because I left after...
Hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds of stations, yes.
Okay.
All over the world.
All over the world. Okay, so, and the show, and Casey Kasem was making how much, what was his salary at the end? It's astronomical.
I don't want to say on the air because I'm not sure. So,
but wasn't it $1 million?
well, he was... He lived in a nice house in Bel Air that was in the millions of dollars, and they decided they preferred to live at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And so the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, you know, that's what, if you ever saw the movie Pretty Woman, that's where it all takes place. And so that's where they lived. They lived there, and because they could call room service anytime they want.
Really?
Okay.
So
That's fine.
Roughly making $1 million per show.
I don't want to say, because I don't know. But if you want to say that, I think that's a great idea.
OK.
On va se mettre dans l'ambiance.
Il est fatigant, là, Earl.
On va écouter
Vous êtes-
l'extrait.
I think I met you at a party one time.
Yeah, I thought I met you at a party one time.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Too Tall and Richard Burrell at the time.
You remember Richard Burrell, Too Tall? Oh, yeah. He's the one who had the sex show on the radio, and then he wasn't here for a little while after that. It was the greatest show I ever heard on radio, but oh well.
Are we on the air?
Yes, we are. Yeah, it was,
Oh, God, then I can't...
don't even try. No, just keep it to yourself.
I always wonder what happened to you whenever I hear the King song around the dial on there. Like, where's my favorite DJ? Where is he gone? Where is he gone? And I could never find out where you went. You were my favorite DJ. Okay?
Alors, on est à Chaume. On a reconnu le nom de Too Tall. Hein? Mr. Too Tall.
Isn't that incredible?
I
You're
wonder who
the
that was.
ever best DJ radio announcer. You know, that's a hommage. Oui, ça en français, tu sais. Hein?
Tu sais.
Earl?
What?
It's an homage. It's
An homage?
Homage, you know.
Merci.
Homage.
Exact.
And she's got a fantastic voice.
And find out who it is, because we need to talk to her again.
Who it is?
Yeah, who is
Oui.
it?
Who was she?
I have no
The
idea.
girl on the air.
No, I have no
Ah,
idea.
it was a listener.
A listener.
A listener,
Yeah,
yes.
listener, I think. C'est un extrait qu'on écoutait donc, de Chaume à
de
l'époque.
cette auditrice
Quelle
qui...
année à peu près, W? Tu m'as envoyé ça hier. C'est quelle année à peu près?
I think Earl, remind me, it was for the 25th anniversary of
I
show.
believe
Okay.
So what?
You know, I'm not sure. When would that have been? The 20? Was that?
25th year after 1971 means what year?
Faut calculer.
68 was
91.
actually 69 was the year it started.
Okay.
So if you get a
96.
calculator at home and get that 25
97.
plus,
Il y a quelques années, Chaume a fêté son 50e.
Mid-90s.
Earl est venu.
Oui, on
mais
était là.
il a été invité à Chaume même
OK.
au 25e anniversaire. Et quand l'auditrice lui demande « Where were you? » Ben, il était probablement à Toronto, dans le marché de Toronto, à CFNY.
Voilà.
Non, non, hold on a second.
Mais ils l'ont
now.
invité pour le 25e
OK.
en ondes.
Mais attends une seconde. So they invited you for the 20... OK, le 25e anniversaire, Earl. Mais how long have you been gone? Since then, when you were on the air?
from Shome.
Yeah.
Well, I stopped in '76, I believe.
So when she said that, where were you? How long have you been gone from that moment? 10 years, 15 years?
Yeah, a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
And my God, ça
Wow.
c'est vraiment André.
Peut-être
Une
20,
auditrice qui
no.
a 20 ans qui
Jamais
que-
oublié.
hein?
Jamais oublié, Earl.
Jamais oublié.
Ouais.
André.
Il est venu. Il est venu à Montréal. I think it was in 2010.
OK.
And at CTV TV, la demoiselle des nouvelles dont j'oublie le nom, là, qui est un petit look asiatique, là,
Ah oui,
Ah ouais.
qui est là depuis des années.
Oui, oui, oui. Oui, la star.
Elle a appris que Earl Jive était à Montréal. Elle a dit wow, the live Earl Jive! Et ça a passé à la télévision, à CTV, je pense que c'était en 2010,
D'accord.
lors d'une des dernières visites de Earl à Montréal.
Et sa réaction est en direct, donc sa réaction.
Oui, la réaction de
mentait pas.
la lectrice des nouvelles de
Oui.
CTV était en direct à la télé. Ouais.
Bien.
Ouais, wow. C'est
excellent.
l'extrait de Chaume que je t'ai envoyé sur la,
Oui.
la petite cassette. Là.
Ah oui, la petite
Ça
cassette.
dure 50 secondes.
Ah
Allez,
oui,
you're gonna
c'est
see.
bon.
Something.
I'm Mike Wallace. I'm Wally Schaefer. I'm Harry Reasoner. I'm Ed Bradley. I'm Diane Sawyer. I'm Gabriel Wisdom. Happy birthday, Earl!
Stereo, here I come, right where I should have started.
Laval.
From. You got it in the boxes, they're all right.
Oh, wait a minute. This is...
Suey, Pioneer, Kenwood, Panasonic, Toshiba, Celestial,
I never realized how bad those really were back then, you know. It took me 15 years to figure it out. But now I realize.
Wow.
King Crimson.
There we go. Yo. Oh, my God.
In the court of the Crimson King.
Yeah, in the court of the Crimson. I remember the record.
Oh, yeah.
I had it when I was young.
Yeah.
Hey, de beaux souvenirs, ça.
Hey,
Ouais, c'est marquant.
How long is the song?
Long enough to go to the bathroom and
Oh, yeah.
with no problem at all.
Stay there for a
Yeah.
couple of minutes.
I've taken showers at Showme FM.
Yeah,
So-
you've taken
yeah.
shower,
Yeah.
and maybe some listeners in the little living room while you at C'est quoi when it was, many years ago, and André was probably in charge of the station at that time also, and he probably did it as a radio announcer. You'd hear like a Pink Floyd song or une grande chanson de 10-12 minutes, you know, or 15 minutes, you know, that the announcer would be in the little living room with some guests, you know, some quelqu'un qui vient visiter le station, il met le long disque pour aller détendre dans le salon, André.
Il aurait pu les faire visiter une maison. tu sais.
Là, André disait dans son auto, le boss disait, oh, mais alors, petit sacrament qui loue. Et quand tu entends Pink, when you hear Pink Floyd, means that they,
Ben moi, la question, c'était toujours, qu'est-ce qu'il est parti faire?
Ben oui, c'est ça.
Un
la
numéro
question.
1, un numéro 2 ou autre chose?
Autre chose. Toutes ces réponses. Mais sinon, ben, puis ça, c'est des souvenirs incroyables. C'est une autre époque, tu sais. Puis aujourd'hui, ben, avec bon, le côté numérique, on fait jouer une chanson, puis bon, ça va. On peut faire durer le plaisir. Ben, les longs jeux, les vinyles, des anecdotes incroyables. André, parlant d'anecdotes et sinon de moments croustillants, tu as d'autres extraits pour nous?
Ben oui, on peut écouter le numéro 1 qui est très, très court.
Oui.
C'est une démonstration que j'appelais tout le temps le fatigant. Là. Moi,
OK, c'est à toi,
j'appelais
ça.
toujours à Chaume.
Ah oui.
Et comme Earl me traitait très bien, malgré ma petite voix qui n'avait pas mué.
T'étais jeune, ben
Alors,
oui.
j'avais 12-13
Petit
ans.
bonhomme.
Vois-tu?
Alors, j'appelais toujours des demandes spéciales. Puis à un moment donné, j'ai appelé Earl et j'ai demandé une chanson de Cheech and Chong.
Ah oui? Pour vrai?
Ouais, alors, on va écouter Earl qui mentionne mon nom en présentant Cheech and Chong, en voulant dire
Hey.
je la joue pour André
Ah, c'est
St-Amand.
beau. C'est merveilleux que tu aies gardé ça.
Numéro 1. Oui.
Ah oui. On écoute ça.
And this one is especially for André St-Amand. Écoutez bien.
Andre?
Hey! What are you trying to do? You ruined my record, man. I just bought it.
I don't care what you just bought. You get your little fanny perpendicular and get ready for school.
I'm not going to school.
What do you mean you're not going to school?
Just what I said. I'm not going to school.
And why not?
Because I'm sick. That's why not.
Sick? You're sick, all right. What's wrong with you now, Prince Charming?
I got an earache.
Earache, my eye. How would you like a butt ache? Now get your little fanny out of that bed and clean up this room. It looks like a pigsty. You hear me? All right, that's enough. That's enough. You pushed me far enough, young man. You're getting punished. Now stand up.
No.
I said stand up.
I let go of my hair, man.
Now, young man, I have talked to you and talked to you and talked to you till I'm blue in the face, and I'm done talking to you.
Good. Does that mean you're done spitting on me, too?
Shut up. I'm not done talking to you. Now turn around and bend over.
Oh, what are you going to do, you pervert?
Pervert? Why you snotty? Oh, shut up. I haven't even touched you yet. Now I want you to know this is going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me.
Oh, wow. That didn't even hurt.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, wow. What are you trying to do, tickle me?
Tickle you? Yeah, I'll tickle you.
Ow!
Oh, that tickle, huh? Come on, tickle. Come on, laugh it up, funny boy. All right, now you gonna do what I tell you?
Yeah.
You gonna talk back to me?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, no.
All right. Now you get your clothes on and get your little butt ready for school. Right now, do you understand?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God.
Ouais. Bon,
On est en 74.
74.
Demande spéciale d'André
Ouais,
Saint-Amand.
j'ai...
Autrement dit, c'est de ta faute, ça, là. Oui, c'est de ta faute, ça, ce qu'on vient d'entendre.
Ben, Sean l'a joué souvent, Earl l'a joué souvent.
oui.
Mais
là, t'avais quel âge
moi,
quand t'as
j'avais
demandé
j'avais
ça?
13 ans. J'avais 13 ans.
Ouais,
I was 13.
I would have played that song on the air at Sequoia when you've been fired instantly and sued by André, sued by the station, sued by the
Mais là,
entire
on est comme
corporation.
en plein milieu de l'après-midi, puis Earl, il est audacieux. Il a joué Cheech and Chong.
Wow.
Puis moi, j'aimais ça, un petit gars de 13 ans qui entend le kid qui veut pas aller à l'école.
Ben oui, c'est sûr. T'es pas tout seul.
Cheech and
Quel
Chong
souvenir.
were very popular in Montreal, you know. I mean, their first big hit at Chaume FM was, "It's me, Dave, come on. Come on."
So we have to say, on reçoit Earl Jive ce matin qu'André St-Amand nous a emmené gentiment, qu'il reçoit de la Californie. Et just to make un résumé, you were at Chaume, you were at CKGM FM in the old house on this vieille maison victorienne sur Green Avenue. A whole bunch of freaks, young guys doing CKGM FM, and then you launched the Chaume FM.
CKGM was actually on the third floor of 1310 Green across the street.
CKGM AM.
AM and FM were there, yeah. In fact, it was there. I'd only been in Montreal a month or two, and there was a... well, the door opened up to the studio, and it was the FM jock... Andy K.
Andy K.
And he was doing the all-night show at CKGM AM, and he said, "This is what you want. Because these guys came to hijack the radio station from the Common Front, and they wanted to talk on the air." And he said, "Oh no, you want FM down the hall." And so he brought them to me.
The FLQ.
No, that was before.
That was before the FLQ.
Yeah, that was a year and a half before.
Because Earl had an experience with the FLQ also. Remember, in 1970 and 71, le FLQ existait, puis il voulait prendre l'antenne de Chaume. Mais Earl les envoyait à CKGM. Vous seriez mieux à CKGM.
Ben oui, un peu comme ça, on l'avait fait. C'est
brilliant.
un beau cadeau de grec, qu'on dit en québécois.
They went on the air in CKGM.
Well, what happened was, it was very lucky for me because the console looked very complicated. There was like a mixing board with like 32 channels. And they said, they didn't speak any English, but they made it clear that they wanted to talk on the air. And I said, je ne peux pas, parce que we're broadcasting from from the church, the André Perry Studios, downtown Montreal, and it's the Downchild Blues Band, you know, and so they call, and Reiner calls, the program director, and says, okay, it'll be right after this song. And I said, no, it won't. What do you mean? We got some guests here. They want to take the radio station over. So they played some more songs and some more songs. Finally, they couldn't take it anymore. Eventually, the owner of the station called me, hey, pal, it's Jeff Sterling. You know, what do they want? And I said, they want to talk on the air. They're from the Union, the Common Front, and he said, put them on the air, go ahead. And so we had SWAT teams from the Westmount Police surrounding the radio station at that time.
No.
And
on Green.
On Green, and they had they were still in the big third floor of the big building. And so the police were dispersed, and then Jeff came, and I remember his Blue Nun wine. He invited them all into his office, and after they were on the air, and had some Blue Nun wine, and talked about what they wanted to accomplish.
Incredible.
Alors, c'est l'histoire du FLQ.
Ben oui, c'est tout à fait.
Mais Earl avait dit, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think at a certain point you told them, you'll be better at CKGM AM. No, you didn't.
No, that's what happened. It was the reverse that happened. They went to CKGM AM, and Andy Kay said, no, you don't want AM. You want the FM down the hall.
And then you said,
FM.
go to CKGM.
And he brought them over. You know.
And you send them over. Send them back.
No.
How did it work exactly?
So, he brought them over, and then I set the microphones up after 20 minutes had gone by. I set the microphones up, and they said their piece, and then I stepped out of the studio, and then the general manager came, and then the owner of the radio station came, and when they exited the studio, he took them into his office and talked to them.
Okay.
And it's not the FLQ. That was a year and a half before that I didn't even know about.
Okay. So what I was saying is that good times rolled, and then I mean on Green Avenue, CKGM FM. Then it becomes Chaume. Et là, pour lancer le nouveau Chaume, on dit que vous êtes allé à Saint-Sauveur pour lancer le nouveau Chaume et 10 000 personnes étaient là, vraiment. Ça, c'est un rassemblement de radio dans le genre du FM 93 quand ils ont shutté down de la station à Québec. Je veux dire, du monde.
Mais ce qui est le plus impressionnant de 10 000 personnes, le FM n'était pas aussi écouté et connu en 71, en 1971.
Exact.
Alors imagine, 10 000 personnes, ça équivaut peut-être à 50 000 aujourd'hui.
Puis le côté anglophone aussi, donc il n'est pas en même temps, donc c'est méritoire. Là.
C'est que cette chance, parce que c'était il y a eu la ruée vers l'or, la ruée vers la FM. Hein?
Absolument.
C'était magique. Là.
Le FM a pris sa pleine ascension durant les années 80, pendant que le AM commençait à descendre, à glisser, de moins en moins écouté. Alors, c'est un peu ça. Puis, la musique qu'on jouait au AM, qui était assez top 40, s'est exportée soudainement sur la bande FM au début des années 80. C'est quoi a été l'une des premières stations qui ressemblait à la Music Machine, CKLM, etc.
Exact,
Alors, c'est comme ça que la bande AM a un petit peu décliné, là, disons, au fil du temps.
Des transfuges aussi, tout ce qu'il avait. Oui, absolument.
Now, working for an English station, I mean, it's the advantage on us, French people. We under André, Sequoia was a DOR station, a dance-oriented rock station, and we had to play 60% French music, and it was really a downer. I mean, at that time, the French music was not adapted like it is right now, like modern and, more of a sophisticated pop, modern music, dance or a little bit of dance, electronic.
Different format you had to go to
different format. So it would break the ambiance, of our DOR. And for a jazz station didn't have these regulations. So they had like a 20% French music or whatever. So we should have had this too, because a DOR format doesn't have enough French. Le DOR n'a pas assez de stock français pour alimenter son format. André.
Non, c'est sûr que ça a été très difficile par le passé et ça l'est encore aujourd'hui, parce qu'on ne produit pas suffisamment de matériel francophone pour s'agencer avec la musique anglophone. Et la quantité de musique francophone n'est pas suffisante pour alimenter 65%. Donc, les stations se ressemblent tous.
Oui.
Puis,
c'est une cause à effet.
Puis, c'est difficile parfois de trouver du matériel, surtout à cette époque-là. Là, on parle des années 80. C'était difficile de trouver du dance music en français ou du rock en français. C'était plus une connotation un peu folklorique dans la musique francophone. Donc, comment faire 65 et c'est pour ça qu'encore aujourd'hui, en français, il n'existe pas beaucoup de formats musical. On est probablement sur la planète l'endroit où il y a le moins de formats différents. Si vous allez au Canada anglais, il existe peut-être une trentaine de formats possibles avec la réglementation actuelle. Aux États-Unis, c'est infini.
Et la musique française actuelle se mixe beaucoup mieux et plus facilement avec la musique anglaise.
Aujourd'hui, oui, il y a un effort et les moyens technologiques permettent une qualité de production qui est supérieure aujourd'hui et qui est presque souvent comparable à la musique internationale. Donc, c'est un petit peu plus facile aujourd'hui.
Puis à l'époque des années 80, sans rentrer dans les couloirs politiques, mais c'était inévitable. Tu avais l'après-référendum où, en début des années 80, on ne produisait plus beaucoup de chansons en français. Donc, de là, le manque aussi à part quelques personnages, mais il n'y a pas beaucoup de chansons de qualité à ce moment-là en français, sinon toujours les mêmes joueurs qui revenaient. Donc, et à ce moment-là, tu es limité dans le volume, en fait.
Earl a eu une longue carrière. How long has been your radio career?
Wow. How many years?
How many years?
Well, I started surveying the kids in school in 1961. So let me see. Wow. We got 39 years there and 25 here. So whatever the...
So a lot of radio.
And I got my first job in radio by taking the surveys from my school in Michigan and the school in Anaheim, California, where we moved to. And I went to 2 or 3 radio stations, and the third one hired me to do the same thing. He says, well, what do you want to do here? And I said, I'll get kids at every high school and every college, and I can tell you what songs are going to be hits weeks before they start selling. And that's what got it going. And then within a few months, a new group came up that I'd known about, but most people didn't, called the Beatles. And 24 of the top 40 songs on my chart were Beatles songs. And so the host of my show, Bob Eubanks, and the program director, Reb Foster, combined forces. They each mortgaged their house to get $25,000 apiece to bring the Beatles to the Hollywood Bowl. And a big night of my life was the 23rd of August, 1964. I had been talking to the Beatles manager, Brian Epstein, and showed him my chart and everything. And I often get involved in things, and I tune everything else out. And I looked up, and had been 30 people around us just minutes ago, and there was nobody there. And then I can hear Tina Turner was off stage. Now Ike and Tina Turner were not on anymore. And I could hear my boss, Reb Foster, and Bob Eubanks, the host of my show, on stage at the Hollywood Bowl introducing the Beatles. And I thought, well, I should probably go see this. So I step into the dark area right at the edge of the stage, and my eyes adjust. And about half a foot away from me was John Lennon standing there with his guitar ready to go on, and then Paul McCartney and George Harrison and Ringo Starr, and eventually this is all, by the way, on a Capitol album called The Beatles Live at the Hollywood Bowl. And finally, after they realized they couldn't get the audience's attention anymore, they finally said, "Here they are, the Beatles!" And so that was quite a night for me to stand with them as they were at that point at the pinnacle of their career.
That was just after the Ed Sullivan
few days?
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
So, he's a legend. Qui peut dire, j'ai discuté avec le gérant des Beatles, puis j'ai rencontré les Beatles lors de leur première venue en Amérique.
C'est mémorable, c'est une tranche de l'histoire.
Extraordinaire. How old were you when you get your first professional radio job?
16.
16 years old. Wow, a kid.
Yeah, and within a year I became music director of the radio station, which was a big deal because a major market station and someone my age getting to pick the music and I thought it was great too.
Yeah.
We have to get into this wife business. How did you meet? Comment as-tu rencontré Earl, ta femme?
Well, at CHOM, CKGM FM, I started getting calls from a girl from Brossard, Ville-Brossard, and her name is Inga. And it was funny because I would say something and she would laugh. And just had a unique laugh. And so she called me every day, and it started getting old after a while, you know. I'd answer the phone.
Not her again.
CHOM FM. Hi, it's Inga. Yeah, hold on. Click. I put her on hold and go do my business. And then a minute later, I answer the phone. Hi, CHOM FM. Hi, it's Inga. I've got you on hold on the other line. I know. I told my mother to get another line so I could call you more often. You know, so she did that, and she wanted to talk. And I said, I have to work. You don't have to work. The song is playing. And I said, I know, but she couldn't understand that there were things to do. I had to pull the commercials, and I had to fill out the log and stuff like that. So she did this for a year and a half, and.
Before you met her?
Yeah, well, it was maybe 6 months probably before I met her, and she wanted to come to the radio station.
And how old were you?
23.
And how old was she?
16.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So she was very persistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, it's me again.
It's almost like a play Misty for me.
Yeah.
But in a positive way.
Yeah, she was very loyal, very persistent, and she would call every night, and eventually when I at one point I left to go to San Diego and work there for 5 months, and then they brought me back to CHOM for a weekend, for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. And on Sunday, the owner of the radio station, Jeff Sterling again, the guy that was drinking wine with the people who hijacked the radio station, he asked me what I wanted to do. He gave me 3 choices, and I said, I'll do the television in Newfoundland. That sounds like interesting. So there I became the first VJ in the world, because I got a bunch of music from the record companies, films of the songs, you know, the Carpenters and Cat Stevens.
Like a much music, Musique Plus.
Yeah,
yeah, but
8 years earlier,
8 years earlier.
Yeah, so I forgot where I was going with that. I was in Newfoundland. Oh, yeah. So when that experiment was over, the Newfoundland Television Festival, I came back to CHOM, and I was on Green Avenue, and there sitting in front of 1355 Green, and the wooden door with a heart in it, was sitting Rainer Schwartz, the program director, and Inga, my future wife, right next to him. So she was, and she had somehow gotten my phone number in San Diego as well, and she used to call me all the time when I was there.
God, what a story.
In Montreal, as a listener, Inga. Okay. We know her by the name of Beverly. Why? Oh. Where does it come from?
Well, in southern Illinois in the late 70s, she just decided she should change her name to something that people could relate to. And
on the radio.
To Beverly Hills. So she became the lovely and talented Beverly Hills. And so then when we moved
Beverly Hills,
really? So when we moved to Toronto, I got the offer to come to Toronto and to CFNY. She was on the air with me a lot there. In fact, I believe André remembers that, or somebody reminded me that she did my show in Toronto while I came and did the 25th anniversary.
We have that. We have that on the.
Oh yeah.
Can we listen to that? Est-ce qu'on a écouté? C'est laquelle cote ça?
Ça c'est sur.
Celle qu'on a écoutée, hein, de non, je ne sais pas.
Tu m'avais envoyé 2 extraits, mais sinon,
extraits. Okay.
Pour de la régie interne.
Alors, Earl, là, ce qu'on dit, c'est qu'il y a une dame, Inga. Is this a Russian name or
no? Well, I think it's a Swedish name. But she is German. She's a German.
She's German.
She came to Toronto when she was 1 year old, and they moved to Montreal when she was 10. So she grew up in Montreal. Loved, in Ville-Brossard. Yeah.
Imagine a German from Brossard.
Mais non.
Une Allemande de Brossard.
C'est incroyable. Donc, une Allemande de Brossard appelle à CHOM. She's 15 years old, 16 years old. She starts calling. She calls every single day for a year. And then you, oh my God. And then you go away, you go to Newfoundland as a VJ. Et puis là, vous venez, Earl, tu reviens de Newfoundland, de Terre-Neuve, et elle est assise dans les marches devant la porte rouge de Chaume. Elle t'attend.
And I thought, well, maybe I should just use this. I mean, she's obviously a loyal fan, so I tried to put her to work, you know. I got her to stamp envelopes and do stuff like that, along with, I don't know if you know who Connie Broden was, but he was a hockey star, and his wife was the secretary of the general manager at Shom FM at that time. Okay, so Lizzie Broden, her kids came and did the same thing. They did a good job. My future wife did not. She did a really bad job. So I thought, well, that's a mess. But at some point, I told her how bad my apartment was at Alexis DL Plaza. I was on the 30th floor looking toward the city. And she said, I'll come and clean it. You got to be kidding. She did in 10 minutes what it would have taken me 5 hours to do. So she
really?
And so we just got to know each other better and better and better. And,
I know.
And after a few years, I was looking at houses, and I told her, they showed me a house in Hudson, and this it's a great house, $57,000. I mean, I can make the payment, but I don't have the down payment. Well, I've saved tips over at. I was at Le Boeuf.
No.
She was at Boeuf in the Tabernacle.
I don't.
Tabernacle.
What?
Where's Buff?
Bonaventure.
Bonaventure.
Place Bonaventure. And so she saved $5,000 from her tips from working at the Boeuf.
She
and
saved $5,000.
Yeah, she would tell people, give me $100 tip, and they would do it too. They would give. She was very good at what she did. You know.
So, and how long did it take? Retiens ce que tu veux dire. How long did it take you to get involved with her?
Well,
personally,
we then lived together, you know, and so when you're in the same house, somehow you learn about each other.
When she was the maid, the femme de ménage.
Oh, after femme de ménage, she became. You know, how can you do without that? You need the damn house cleaned, and then one thing leads to another, and then
this is fantastic, Earl, because you say she's such a fan. She's been calling for a year. I come back from Newfoundland a year later, and she's sitting there, and so I'm going to put her to work.
Yeah, she's a fan. Give her something to do. You know.
Et ce qui est fascinant, c'est qu'il est encore avec elle aujourd'hui.
Oui.
Et je les entends parler au téléphone parce que j'héberge Earl durant son séjour à Montréal, et je les entends parler au téléphone. Honey, hi honey. Puis, écoute, ça, c'est comme au premier jour. Et how long you've been with Beverly? Inga.
Well, officially, I guess we first met in 1972, and we got married in 1979. And those of you at home with calculators right now can figure out how long
45 years.
I have a little story, just a little story before we get into we have to listen to stuff. Just a little story. I was on the air one Saturday afternoon at C'est Quoi, and we decided, and André was not the program director at that time, or maybe, I don't know if he was. Anyhow, this many, many years ago, and I decided to give away a listener. Okay, to some female listener. Okay, so I would give away a listener, but that listener that we gave away went cold feet. You know, he said
didn't want to be.
I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go. So we sent a radio announcer called Richard stop at the station that afternoon to say hello on the air, and I said hello, Richard. And then I said on the air, well, that listener is running cold feet. So, il veut pas cet auditeur-là. Donc, we're going to give the radio announcer away. So, we gave Richard away to this female listener. And he was, at that time, married. Okay? So, we gave him away.
For how long?
I drove him to that place, to that listener. And there were two listeners, and I was included, but I didn't say it on the air. I included myself. Okay,
chaperone.
So there were two girls, and then Richard married her. And they've been together, Richard, André, pour 40 ans, je ne sais pas.
Et plus.
Probablement.
Okay.
On a un autre extrait, André.
Oui, j'aimerais que Earl fasse l'explication. Explain us the story behind Palisades Park, which is, I think, a huge hit during the 60s.
Yeah, 1961 was the year.
Would you like to explain that?
Yeah, well, it's funny because I heard it once on the air, and I had known Freddie Cannon before. I always saw him on American Bandstand with Dick Clark.
Hey.
And so I heard this new song, and I thought, that song is fantastic. And so I put it as a new song on my chart that I published every week.
It was a B-side, I think.
It was played by mistake. The A-side was June, July, and August, and I did hear that on American Bandstand, but I never heard Palisades Park.
Wow.
But I got a copy, and I played it for the kids at school, and every week it went up, to the point where it hit number one. And by this time, there were record stores that paid me to bring my chart. You know, I'd print 50 copies and charge them $2 for the 50 copies of my chart, because they sold a lot of records by looking at they said it's better than the radio station chart.
Earl Jive chart.
It was a new business for you.
At 15 years old, I had this chart thing going on. And apparently, after I left, because Palisades Park was number one for 3 weeks, the radio stations in Flint started playing it more and more and more, and that's where it broke and became a big hit in Billboard, and I think it made number 3.
Alors, on écoute la chanson.
C'est pas ça?
Oui, c'est ça,
c'est ça. C'était fort.
Très fort.
On est de retour. Et ça explique tellement bien l'époque. L'époque, donc, Earl Jive est notre invité aujourd'hui. Il reste à peine 5 minutes, messieurs. Quel beau moment de radio.
Alors, cette chanson-là, pour les plus vieux, évidemment, se souviennent que ça a été un gros hit, particulièrement aux États-Unis, mais ça jouait beaucoup aussi au Canada. Alors, c'est Earl qui est derrière la découverte de cette chanson. Qui était une phase B de 45 tours.
Voilà, phase B pour les plus jeunes, bien évidemment, c'est pas le côté que l'on promotait, comme disait Régis Lévesque. Il disait ça, promoter. Alors, autre élément de culture.
Promotionner, pas promoter.
Non, mais il disait ça, promoter. Et donc, il y a des animateurs, des fois, qui se trompaient. Vous avez tous des anecdotes, ou qui volontairement faisaient jouer la phase B. Alors, Earl est responsable. C'est de sa faute. Pourquoi ce succès-là est devenu important.
Do you remember the years of that song?
Palisades Park?
Yeah.
1961.
61.
Summer of 61.
My year of birth.
Yeah, wow! Hey, c'est pas rien, ça. 1961.
On parlait de Inga qui appelait à chambre, mais qui est devenue la femme de toujours de Earl. Et Earl regarde son téléphone pour voir si Inga Beverly Hills, son nom de radio, parce qu'elle est devenue aussi animatrice de radio, imaginez. Alors, c'est une fan de radio, elle rencontre, puis boum, elle devient aussi animatrice de radio. C'est incroyable comme histoire.
Wow.
And now she's not there. She's working right now.
Yeah, she's working working now. I'm trying to call her anyway, against her will, and she's not answering the phone. I don't know how she can not do that.
Is she working on a radio station?
No, we house sit. We take care of people's houses while they go away and make a movie or a TV show. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hey, ça continue.
How does that work?
Well, how does it work? You just take on the life of the person who you're...
Stars.
Yeah, famous people.
Hey, so you would go and live in their house?
Yeah, we live in their house, take care of the pets. We deal with the pool people. We deal with the gardeners. We deal with the housekeepers.
It's a nice job.
And yeah, it is. It's great. Not for everybody, but
multi-million-dollar houses?
Many. Oh, yeah.
In California?
$8 million houses, I think, the most expensive house we've stayed in, yeah.
So you end up there with your wife?
Yes.
For how long?
So anywhere from 1 day to last place we did that was a long time was 16 months.
16 months?
They had to go. She had to go to Broadway to be in a play. And so she gave us her house and she took the husband, the dog. There we didn't even have a dog to take care of. So the husband, the dog, and the grandmother all went to New York, and they enjoyed being downtown Manhattan so much they stayed the entire 16 months.
And it's cool, you know, they, even though they're big stars, they can say, we have this radio announcer, Earl Jive, with his wife.
I don't think they've ever said that.
No, but it's cool. I think it's cool for them, you know, to have this Earl Jive radio man.
Alors, pour résumer en français, c'est que le job actuel de Earl, qui était en Californie, normalement, alors il prend soin des maisons des grandes vedettes. Et on ne parle pas de petites vedettes, là. On parle de grands chanteurs, de grands acteurs américains. On sait qu'en Californie...
vous allez nous demander... Là, André, tu m'avais dit, on ne peut pas nommer... On peut pas nommer le nom. We can't name...
I mean, there are people I can name that we don't work for, but people that we work for, we don't talk about. That's why we have the job.
So who did you... Can you name names?
Sure. Well, there are 3 people who all interviewed my wife, wanting her to be their assistant. The first one was Jay Leno, because he had called us on the air in Chicago. I was doing fill-ins at the Loop in Chicago for Stephen Gary and for Kevin Matthews. And Kevin Matthews is a very funny guy, and he has, like, Richard Lewis would call him, and then Jay Leno, the comedian, would call him. And Jay Leno had just gotten named as the host of The Tonight Show. Wow. So when I answered and had him on the air, he said, yeah, come and see us in Burbank sometime. So my wife and I went, and we went to several shows.
So you took care of his house?
No.
No, okay.
No, we didn't. We were never employed by him. We just went and...
But you can't give us names.
We had the run of NBC. No.
There's only 3 names, eh?
Yeah. Oh, and the other, another one that she went to visit was George Clooney. But he lives about 3 blocks away from one of the houses we've been house sitting for 15 years. So it's it's a short walk away, and he bought 2 houses actually. They're side by side, and he will often go into the first house, go through it into the second house.
Now, would you say hello to him on the street?
I've never met him. My wife has. I've never met him, and Selena Gomez lived near there too, and also
Gomez.
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez.
Another, I'm mentally, there's somebody else I want to mention, but I can't think of his name. But anyway, the third person that was Anthony Hopkins. She went to talk with him as well at his house. And
Can I at one point, if you get too busy, can I replace you? Take care of
I don't think...
I'll go with André. And Nicolas.
I'll be your friend.
That'll give us a vacation.
Yeah, why not? It's a great job.
Substitutes.
Yeah.
Propose them hard names.
Yeah. They will say yes.
Mais c'est quelque chose, tu sais, nous, on est ici au Québec, tout ça, on a notre petit star system.
Oui, tout à fait.
Mais en Californie, évidemment, tu es près de Hollywood et toutes les vedettes du cinéma international.
C'est la vraie affaire.
Alors, ils ont le privilège dans leur emploi. C'est extrêmement secret.
Il doit rester très longtemps, André, en plus, dans ces maisons-là.
Oui, bien, le plus long que Earl disait, c'est 16 mois. 16 months.
Donc, 1 année et demie.
Parfois, ça peut être une semaine, parfois, ça peut être quelques mois. Ça varie. Earl me disait hier que le plus loin qu'il est allé pour prendre soin d'une maison en l'absence des propriétaires, c'était en France,
South of France, Antibes, near Antibes,
Provence. And then, wow.
It was, it's great because, you look over in there, you see the Mediterranean in the distance, and it was pretty fabulous. And this person is an author, a British author, and I also house sat for her in Bath, England, before she moved to France. But she finally found her life. She was looking for something, and now she's married and everything.
Que ce soit Céline Dion ou d'autres vedettes internationales, ils partent longtemps. Ils partent en tournée. On pense que les maisons sont laissées seules. Non.
Pas du tout.
Il y a des gens comme Earl et son épouse, Bev, qui prennent soin de ces maisons-là, qui habitent ces maisons-là en l'absence des propriétaires.
Et donc des gens de confiance, et le mot se passe, on dit bouche à oreille. You know the expression in French, it means that probably at the first time you need to be trust. And after that kind of megastar will say, okay, I know...
it's all word of mouth.
I know a gentleman with his wife, and, maybe...
We've never advertised. It's all, just after the very first one was, we became friends with Simon Le Bon, the lead singer of Duran Duran in Toronto, and this is before they were popular. And so then they became popular, and he came with his girlfriend from Toronto, who was Claire Stansfield. And so they broke up after a period of time, and it was 1992, and we were moving to, we were going to go to visit in California, and we told her, and she said, well, come stay with me. I live in the Hollywood Hills, right above the Chinese Theater. So we went and stayed with her. We had our miniature dachshund there, and after a few days, she says, you guys are good luck. I just got a part in a movie for 3 months. You want to take care of my house? And that was our first gig there.
Wow.
Well, maybe one last question, W.
W,
j'aime ça en anglais, W.
W, it sounds big.
W, exact.
Ouais, il nous reste une minute.
Peut-être demander à Earl, tu sais, il y a eu les grands feux en Californie. Nous, on a regardé ça de l'extérieur, mais j'aimerais savoir comment il a vécu ça de l'intérieur. How was the fires in California?
Depressing.
How did you live with that locally?
Well, it's funny hilarious. It was I was staying at a hostel on Hollywood Boulevard because I had an appointment the next day at the doctor, and it was in Beverly Hills, and so I needed to be close by, and Beverly had dropped me off there, and she was off doing something else, and suddenly they're evacuating the Hollywood Hills, and already the Pacific Palisades are on fire. And so I call her and I say, had only been there 2 hours, and I say, you better come and get me. I don't think this is a good thing. So she was able to come and find me by taking alleyways because there was so much traffic, people trying to get out of there. At that time, it was chaotic.
Were you affected by the smoke everywhere? Or?
Not so much the smoke because I wasn't. I think maybe I was down upwind of it. The smoke was going in the other direction, but affected at that point by the traffic. But it was just so depressing. It'll never be the same.
Thank you so much, Earl Jive. T'allais juste rajouter un petit commentaire?
Non, c'est impressionnant. On regarde ça à la télé.
Merci beaucoup, tout le monde.
Merci.
Earl Jive, ex-Chaume Radioman de la Californie. André St-Amand,
merci beaucoup, mon
connu maintenant mondialement aussi, comme Nicolas Deslauriers, Michel W. We have this lady, Diane La France, taking over the air. So, thank you so much.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Bonjour, Diane.
Bye-bye.
Oh, right.
Bonjour, Diane.